All right, good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live Thursday, November 6th. And right off the bat, we've got the ES setup that we had mapped out from yesterday along at the 680250. Now, I do have a concern here, and the concern is this right here. If you guys can see, we had a lot of multiple retaps right above our zone, right above our line, probably about 6 ticks off from our entry. So they did sweep a lot of liquidity here. A lot of volume was balanced out right here. So in situations like this is where the footprint confirmation, in my opinion, comes in very strongly. Another secondary thing that we have to look out for is going to be a big pocket that they are very interested at the 6800s. Okay, now I don't mind. I mean, the 2.5 points of drawdown is slightly higher than what I like to see on my trades, but it is giving us a good level of defense for our stop loss. But again, this is a great scenario where a footprint confirmation on the ES might do you a lot of good here. So we'll keep monitoring this ES trade here. I actually thought that, on the market open, we might get a push down to this to get down here. It's pretty light volume in between pretty much where we're currently at and TP2. So we could very easily make a pretty strong push to the downside here. And then we should have some dancing around at TP1 and TP2, which then would give me a really good indication of what they might leave unbalanced for us to maybe have to adjust TP1. But that's the current game plan on the ES. On the NQ. NQ just came down. Let's get to a 15-minute. NQ just came down to an area that they had left unbalanced here, so unfortunate wasn't just timing wasn't right there for a trade. Setup I left you guys with yesterday. If you guys remember, we had a short setup on the NQ, hit TP1, and unfortunately missed TP2, maybe by a point or two. I had a resting limit orders left on my Iron Beam account, so I made 105 bucks on that trade. I just targeted TP1. I knew I wasn't going to be in front of the charts. Like I say, those are typically going to be your let's see if I can pull that trade up. Yeah, right here. So that's this one right here, where we tapped into that entry. First tap right at the 25,858. And you can see the first tap, zero drawdown right to TP1, right here, right to TP1. And then we had a nice little push, but again, about a point away from completing our TP2 on the setup I left you guys with yesterday. So let's see here if they left anything up here now that we can possibly map out and have of interest. I keep a close eye on the ES trade as well. Good job, Key. Jimba? The way I calculate my TPs are exactly how I calculate my entries. So I'm trying to find a level on a very lower time frame, and a level that had an impulsive move out of that left unbalanced volume, and that corresponds well with my my volume profile. So when we map out some setups here today, I'll kind of give you some examples of what I'm looking at. Annette, good morning. Spencer, good morning. Randy, let's get that money. I agree. And Michael, good morning. Let's keep this green streak going. I agree. All right. So let's see what's going on up here right now. Let's jump down. So unfortunately, TP1 looks pretty crappy. But if we can get past TP1, and we've got a decent trade set up here. It's yeah, TP1 looks kind of crappy, guys, but it's unfortunately what I see. All right, so right off the bat, we got a setup on the NQ to go short at the 25.778. I'm sorry, this TP1 looks really shitty, but this is the only thing that I see right now. You can see where they kind of retapped into this area, 25.774, and then targeting 25.767. So again, a short at the 25.778 with a stop at 25.787. So not the prettiest setup as far as risk to reward. It's just what we see. Like I said, I'm more concerned about protecting my stop loss and putting very easy free-flowing targets in front of me that I know the market needs to rebalance out. So that's one that we've got kind of mapped out there. I believe there was one right above us. Right here. Let's see what that shows us. Oh, this one looks a little cleaner. This one looks a lot cleaner. All right, yes, it's getting close there. Let's take a look. Let's go back over here. Well, not a lot of rebalancing there. It's probably because they've already churned through a lot there. Same area of rejection. A lot of defense at the 6,800s right here. So this is the max that I would like to see in drawdown. Right here in the middle of this circle. And again, this is just an area that they're defending strongly. So now the The 6801s came in strong. 6800s. This trade looks fairly nice right now. Morning, Nordic. Morning, Random Barbarian. Morning, Nate. A lot of support at the 6801s, which I like. 6800s right here. Let's see what we got here. Share my template for what, Payne? Come on. All right, let's see now to the top side. Let's see what you guys want to do here. Looks pretty ugly till we get to the 6876s, so this to me seems like the area that they want to play with right now. Right, let me take a look at this on the NQ. Yeah. Not interested in that. Oh. Yeah, I'll post it in Discord. I got screenshots of all the settings. A few people have asked me. Or if you want, just send me a DM and I can cut and copy it. Copy and paste it. All right, let's take a look at this NQ. Oh no. That scared the crap out of me there. That scared me. All right, so we've already mapped out the first setup here on the NQ at the 25,778, targeting the 25,774 and then the 767s with a stop loss at the 25,787. I know the TP1 on this one is very, very small. It is what it is. And then there's a secondary setup above. This one actually, to me, even looks just better. I would say this is an A setup. This down here right now is probably a B+, maybe A- setup. So we're looking at a short at the 25,850 down to the 25,842, and then the 25,836 as TP2 with a stop loss at 25,858. Again, a short at the 25,850, targeting the 25,842, and then the 25,836. So I'll leave these on screen here just for a little bit. There you go. All right, big dump right there. Let's see. Good footprint confirmation. I like it. All right, let's see what's unbalanced here. So, yeah. Even TP2 looks really, really favorable. Now, again, the setup was the same. You've got this 6,800 that we could retest here. So I think we were about 2 points of profit there. There was the tap. If it blows through here, then we got some other issues that we got to worry about. Let's see. After that, the 95s is the last defense, but that's already too much risk for me. So I'm going to have to leave this trade going right here. No, you don't have to load 120 days. You could load whatever days you want. On my lower time frames, I got them at 45 days. So that was, yeah, about, that was closer to 2 points, yeah. A little over 2 points. A lot of liquidity now, stacking at the 98s, 97s. I might want to come after this. Shit. They just absorbed a lot. So right here, if this blows through this thing right here, our stop loss is most likely going to get tagged out here. And they're defending the 6801s. Let's get through that at least. If we could, that would be great. Honestly, very little supply to the upside, so we could get a pretty violent move to the upside, which is what I'm hoping for. They're not defending the top side at all. Now what they're defending is the 6795s. That's where they're stacked up here. We got a little defense still with us here, but I would think that they would want to at least balance out the 6807s right between TP1 and TP2. At least that's what I see. Shit. That doesn't look good to me. That doesn't look good to me. Last layer of defense is the 95s. I mean, I could pull this down to the 93s, but that would be it's kind of a nasty risk profile all the way down to the 93s. But there's just so much that they got to balance out up here. I don't want to be tagged out by a point. I think I'm going to bring this down. I hate doing this right now, but let's see, the 94s, even the 94s don't really afford me much. The 93s do. It's a bad play here. This could be a nasty loss of a day. Nasty loss of a day here. Let's see. Hopefully I can get at least something decent. Nope. They gave not a good footprint confirmation there. They're coming after me. They are coming after me. That was a good push right up here, and oh, well, that was a really good footprint confirmation right here. If you guys can see it. It was a very good footprint confirmation. But I don't know if I'm going to have the bullets to stay in this trade. Now it's got to make a serious pump. Well, he trapped me pretty good on this one. They trapped me pretty good on this one. Now they're just moving this liquidity down and down. Now it's to the 90s. So I would have much rather been where my first stop was at. And there's really not pressure from the upside. I mean, it's not like the sellers are stepping in. Yeah, I got caught in a pickle here. Nasty pickle. There you go. Ah, that was a nasty one. Oof. That's the worst loss of 2 months. That was nasty right there. And I got a really good footprint confirmation right here, too. I got one right here, which we had a nice push. But that was only good for about 2 points. Actually, it was good for 3 points. Yeah, 68.05. That hurt. That hurt. And honestly, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. There was just a lot of... There was not a lot of pressure from the upside. I really thought that the TP2s was an easy area for them to sweep. Or to balance out. Maybe it was the multiple retaps that got me. That was the one thing I was concerned about. Were these just multiple retaps, the balancing of the volume right here. Which if I take a look at it, kind of coincides with where the max that they wanted to go. That was a nasty one. That was a nasty one. And now they look like the pressure's coming in. All right, let's keep it moving. That looks junky. They left so much right here. Actually, right there. Doesn't make any sense. Both these pockets, they left completely unbalanced. I thought for sure they would tap into this. They almost did. I think what got me, honestly, were these with the multiple retaps of the same. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 retaps into the same unbalanced volume area. So one of my fears going into it kind of played out nasty. Oh, this thing is just straight dumping. I don't see much on the news. Man, this sucker's just dumping. All right, I'm gonna take a little break. All right, let's do a reset here. So what do we got brewing? We got a pocket that they left right here. Don't look very good on the volume profile. Doesn't look very good. Doesn't look very good on the volume profile there. I want to be on this side of the. I want to be on that side of the chunk. Another area right here that they left. This looks a lot better. All right, this looks a lot better to me on a short on the NQ at the 25,636, targeting the 25,629, and then the 25,626 with a stop at the 25,643. That setup looks really nice to me. Let's see where they're at. All right, they're heading into some supply right here. Morning, Krypton. Yeah, Trump I know is talking. Should be talking in about like 45 minutes. That's what the 25s are doing. There's probably nothing there yet. I had no reason to close early on that ES trade, just because I saw the unbalanced volume sitting above it. You know, obviously, looking back at it, just even the 3 points or the 2.5 points, that would have got me a $2,000 payout. That's all I need. I need like $80 more for Tradeify. So that one kind of stunk. And now I got to kind of in a hole on the cash accounts. The cash accounts are down 800, 900, 450, and 462. Ah, yucky. Yucky. And I'm not going to try to... I'm still taking the same setups. I'm definitely not trying to make back my loss here of the ES, but I would like to at least take some decent setups here. All right, so the NQ, you just made a little move from there. Let's see what you're thinking here. This doesn't look bad either. Might not get a chance here, but we definitely might not get a chance there. That's the tap. Where's the tap? It's a good footprint confirmation too. I don't know if that would have got you your TP1 there, but I didn't even have a chance to map that one out with the entries. I think that only hit TP1. That would have hit TP1, which would have been right here. All right. That was too close. Too close. Too quick. What else do we see here? At this pocket right here, that I know we're going to have some reaction to, at the 25 550s. I just don't really like where it's sitting on the volume profile. So I'll map these out. I'm going to leave them in white just because I don't like how this sits on the volume profile. But I'll give you guys the labels on here. At least what I see. Give me an aggressive one, but... TP1 looks like shit on this anyways. It looks like dog shit. And I don't like the volume profile up in here. So I would not consider this a setup right now. I'm just putting it on here. I just want to see what kind of reaction we get there. All right, on the ES, we just tapped into this area, which I knew there was going to be some resistance there. Let's see what they got to do here. A lot of defense at the 80, at the 95s. That's a good reaction. Dang, that setup would have played out actually really perfect right here. They balanced out exactly what they needed at the 67.89s. Still stinging. Well, they can get through the 95s. It's going to be a really good sign of strength. They got a lot of unbalanced volume sitting right above them. It's going to be hard to get to the pretty much through the 6800s. Right through this high volume peak right here. It's going to be tough for them to get through all the way there. If they do, this could be a very strong bullish play here. So here's a good example. I forgot who was talking to me about the TPs. You know, obviously I knew that this area right at this 67.93 that we'd get a reaction to. And then as far as a TP, what hasn't been balanced out? Well, simply put, right here. That has not been balanced out. So, I mean, that's a great target one, which could have very easily gotten you, and then some. So again, it's like the exact same way of finding the entries to and reverse engineering it for the TP 1s and 2s. This up here just doesn't look clean to me. And they got a lot of volume here. A big auction's going to be taking place right here. 6800s all the way up to the 6805s. Yeah, that's the supply. That's what you're seeing on Delta. Negative 252, 459. That's a great sign of strength right there. But they got a lot of pressure to get through here. Looks like the NQ. Wow, just barely tapped in right there. Let's go to the switch to the 1. This 550 play doesn't look so bad. TP1 looks like it might be a little bit of a struggle, but it doesn't look terrible. Don't like how they're balancing out TP2 though. That's a good size dump. 4 minutes for IB to be set. And that was pretty much the ES hitting this roadblock right here. Right, they've just jumped right into this big chunk of volume here. I just don't have a good setup here for this area right up here, which is bothering me. I really like the setup here right above us. 25,636, targeting the 629 and the 626 with a stop at the 25,643. That looks very nice to me. Well, not a lack of movement today. There's definitely some movement. This little pocket here down here looks kind of interesting. I'd like to see this just a little bit higher on the volume profile. I don't like the inverse here on the downside. But there's definitely going to be a reaction right here at the 67, 80s to 79s. But again, that's not an A+ setup. I don't like how that fits on the volume profile. All right, so IB low is set. Well, I should say IB is set. IB low is at the 25,404, and the high is at the 25,685. Excuse me. It's a good sized dump, huh? They're going to attack this area right here. A lot of absorption there. A lot. 240, 170, 273. Just not a lot of defense down here. Big absorption there. And Q's getting close to IB low. Got a lot going on here. Big absorption there. That's a good footprint control. Okay. Woo! All right, no footprint confirmation there. Oh, that was nutty. So the ES just took out a big stop loss. That coincided with the NQ. Again, footprint confirmation got you out of a bad trade there for sure. There was nothing clean. A lot of pressure to the downside. Wow. It's taking everything in its path. There's got to be some kind of headlines coming out right now. So now I would be looking at a short off the IB low. If we get a good footprint confirmation, that would be something I would be looking at. But the markets are pretty nutty right now. My level 2 is going insane. And the ES has got a decent setup too. Shit. ES has got a decent setup right here at the 6757. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time for that one. And Q's close. Let's see. Probably missed the NQ. Okay, now the NQ's still here. What's the NQ doing at the 325s? 327s look like they're defended, but not. That doesn't look bad. All right, we kind of got a lot going on here. So we got this set up here at the NQ, the 25-325. So let me, and then we got a setup that looks pretty good at the 67-57. I don't know which one's going to be better to take here. Be dicey. It's dicey. Got a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on here. Same time. I feel like I'm gonna have to pick one of the two. So on the ES, what I see is a 67-57 targeting the 67-60 and the 67-63 with a stop at the 53s. And then this NQ setup that we had mapped out a couple days ago, 25-325, targeting the 25-334. But they're both coming in kind of hot. Yeah, Morgan, I would look at a short from the IB low if I get a good footprint confirmation for sure. All right, how about this? How about we leave a resting limit order here on the NQ? And let's take a look at the ES. Ah, the ES just tapped in. No good, no footprint confirmation though. Did we not get tagged in? Oof. Did not get tagged in there. That might be dicey. I need to see a rejection here very quickly. Me a footprint confirmation. All right, that was not bad. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Shit. All right, NQ hit and ES hit. Let's go. Woo! Holy shit, that was stressful. Holy shit, that was stressful. Got the NQ and the ES there. A little lower, a little less than what I would have wanted, but that helps the P&L for sure. Nicely done. Let's go. Man, that was nutty. Two at the exact same time. And shit, did that get close to my... Well, that was only 7 points of risk on the NQ. Woo! Man, that was TP1, TP2, TP1, TP2. I could have taken a lot more out of that trade, but that was a little stressful with both trades going on at the same time. Let's go! Let's get a like on the stream, man. I know I'm still negative for the day, but that was a big bounce back. That's a huge bounce back for me. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, I know that clap was probably pretty loud on the mic. Let's go. I need to walk. I need to take a little break. I'll be right back. All right, I know I said I was going to take a walk, but then I realized that I am on stream, so I can't take my normal walk. But that would have been a walking situation where I could take at least a lap or two around the cul-de-sac. Would have been freaking great. But I don't have that luxury right now. Of course, I didn't take a screenshot of my loss on the ES. Let me see. Did I delete those? I did. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. Why didn't I take a screenshot? I know I was probably pretty upset with that trade, but that drives me nuts now that I didn't even take a screenshot of that. Man, that was not gonna lie, I think for the first time my right hand was, I don't want to say trembling, but it was shaking a little bit. I knew I had two things going on at the same time. I got a good footprint confirmation. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Let me pull it up, sorry. So this is my footprint confirmation on that trade right smack here. Let's get a line. So green footprint candle, negative 24 delta. So that was my footprint confirmation right there. I'm gonna at least take a screenshot of that. Done. So my journaling isn't half-ass. I can get rid of these guys now. That one came quick, man. That came really quick. Let's see what the NQ we got going on the NQ. Okay, we get rid of these guys. Nice job. So it looks like I ended up taking, that's kind of weird, 9.5 points on the NQ, and I think I got 3 points, maybe a little less than 3 points on the ES. Actually, a little more. I think it was right around 3 points. All right, so now we'll take a look at this IB low play. Let's switch over to the NQ. We got Trump talking in about 9 minutes. We got Fed speakers. So let's see. And again, for those of you that are new, my IB low and high play, it's pretty simple. Well, simple for me with the footprint confirmation, which you guys are seeing right here, the footprint. On this play here, we blasted right through this IB low. And again, that's where my footprint confirmation saves me out of a bad trade. It was impossible to trade that unless you're with a resting limit order, which in that case you got spanked pretty good today. But again, that's if the play's got about a 75 to 80% win rate, you know you're gonna have those losers. But on the footprint confirmation, you got nothing. So what I would be looking for now is for a green footprint candle like you see right here, right there, but with negative delta on the bottom. So that is my footprint confirmation, what I would like to see if it taps into this IB low. And then let's just see. Let's see what the NQ has below us. We gotta go a ways. We gotta go a ways. Alright, let's see. What does the NQ have below us? Yeah, that one's coming up quick. I don't know what's going on here. Down here would look pretty nice on the volume profile. Ooh, this is going to be a... Damn, this one might be coming super quick too. I don't know if I'm going to have time to look at this. Bizarre. All right, I don't need to look at that. I got tapped in already. What else is there? What else is there? What else is there? This looks very interesting. 6788s. This looks very interesting. Very interesting. All right, I gotta look into this area right now. Nothing to the NQ on the downside as of yet. Uh, 50s just look like it's kind of a no man's land. This looks very juicy to me right now. I just got to figure out a decent setup play here. Let's see what else is going on. There's nothing on the NQ, so I don't have to worry about that. Let's go into the ES. Let's stay with the ES. What are you wanting to do here, ES? So what's the announcement? Let me see if I can play this. I don't even know if I can. I don't know if it's even legal for me to play it. Anybody got ears on the Trump announcement right now? I don't know. I can't get any audio. Oh, Trump makes an announcement on weight loss drugs. Okay. All right, it's okay further. might be what I was just... Is this the one that I was talking to him? Let me see. Anthony, no. I think that signal hit. I'm looking at price action. It looks like that already got hit. Let me see here. Might have missed that. Against 6803. It's a nice push. I want to follow this one pretty closely here. And we might have something interesting playing out around the 520s, close to that setup that we almost tapped into previously. So that might make things a little interesting up there. I want to concentrate on this IB low play. I still got to map out the ES trade. Got stuff to do. Got stuff to do. I gotta use the washroom too. Shit. How's the pressure up here? So the 65s. Excuse me. 65s. Use the washroom 1 second, guys. All right, let's see what the P&L looks like. That was a nice little bounce back. So this is just the cash accounts. It was negative 900 on that ES trade. So to bounce back to the minus 381, I'll take that all day long. All day long. 2 really nice trade setups there. All right, let's get out of that. ES is just ES and the NQ right now are in there. Lull. I got a hard cutoff of like 10:30. I got to be at the airport at 12. Remember, no stream tomorrow, guys. On Monday, I'll be streaming from my place in Florida for 2 days, and then I'll be back back to Chicago on Wednesday. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but if there's anybody in the Fort Lauderdale area that wants to golf on Monday or Tuesday, hit me up. It's got to be in the afternoons after the stream. Well, let's get a green-red check-in for everybody. Who's up? Who's down? You guys know what I'm down. I'm very happy with my down. How's everybody else doing? Nordic in the red. I hear you. Must down. Scott, nice. Key, nice. Morgan, small green. That's good. Damn, Mike, 3,100? Did you blast both those ES and the NQ at the same time? Keith, Green Day, nice. Buddy, green. Michael Green. Nice green apple. Joe. Look on the Apex evals, Nordic. Yeah, if you guys haven't, please hit the like button. Appreciate it. So tomorrow, you'll still get my levels on Discord. So I can post those. Which, again, look like this. So here are my levels that I post every morning. And these are just my key 5 and 15-minute levels on the ES and the NQ. So again, for tomorrow, you can go on in the morning. I post these about an hour before the market opens. I got to see tomorrow with the time change how it goes, but it should be fine. And so you at least have that as a reference. And then I think I've told you guys multiple times how you guys can play those with the volume profile. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a good short, man. That one busted me up pretty good. All right, we got time. Let's look at this ES trade. This ES setup looks pretty good. All right, so here's a setup on the ES that I got mapped out. Short at the 67.88.25, targeting the 67.85, and then TP2 at the 67.81, with a stop at the 67.94. Thanks, Nordic. That's the goal, Steve. Good job, Joe. Man, that was a nutty morning. A lot of movement. And then to this. Apex did extend their 70% off. The big hook with that one is the $40 lifetime PA fees. So if you're looking at doing a scaling option, 5 counts, 10 accounts, that $40 PA fee will save you some pretty good money there. So that's the appeal there. Just pop that in. I really like the setup here on the ES at the 6788. All right, so the NQ's looking for this. Yeah, they're kind of in a fair value area right here. There's not much where they're just opening and closing auctions right here in this exact same. I'd say right here is your point of control over the last half hour. So they could dip into here. And then they're going to want to target the 350s. Right there. They could do some business there. Really fair value area. So U.S. House Speaker Johnson, I am less optimistic about the shutdown ending. And who knows, I might be doing my stream in Florida the entire week next week if I can't get a flight back home. Feds Williams, the natural rate of interest is hard to pin down. Wasn't that kind of your job? That's kind of what we need the Fed to pin down. This should be interesting right here. All right, Chum Sauce, have a great weekend, man. Patience trading tomorrow if you're going to be trading. All right, guys, I might call the stream here. I still gotta get packed, and I gotta get to the airport by noon. Remember, no stream tomorrow. You will get your levels on Discord if you're a member on my Discord. And today was a nutty day. I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting for sure. But I'm happy on how we bounced back there. 2 really nice signals there to finish off the morning session. So be patient. Again, you'll see me guys on Monday. And if you haven't, the only thing I ask for is hit the like button. I appreciate it a lot. I've been having a lot of fun with you guys. So looks like this will be an ongoing Monday through Friday market open live. All right, take care, everybody.